Good morning, welcome to the shooting show. I'm Gerwyn Jones. Today we're going to be shooting over this bean stubble field. And what we're going to be doing is protecting the farmers' crops again, but we're intercepting them. They've been on this bean stubble since they harvested it. And then behind us is a wheat stubble, which has been direct drill with winter oilseed rape. And the pigeons have hoovered up most of the spilt beans on here, but they're pecking away and pulling out some of the drilled oilseed rape over there. So that is the plan today. Don't know what it's going to be like. I haven't shot on this field for a couple of years. We've got a track through the middle of the field which is access into the estate. We're miles away from any houses or anything here. They are multiple hundreds of meters to those properties down there which are on the edge of the estate. And we've got the River Thames just the other side of the trees down there. So we're in a nice little spot in the Thames Valley. So we'll see what today brings. Got the old shot cam out today. We'll see where I'm missing using that. It's always handy. For a change today, well, it's not a change actually, I've been using them all summer. I'm using the Ely Grand Prix high velocity 32 gram 5s. I've shot quite a few of them now, probably 2,000 or 3,000 just over the summer, just a bit of a change. Still love the Zenith, but just trying these out and really getting on quite nicely with them. They're very similar speed to the Zenith, but I think for stuff like pigeon control, and if you want to shoot sort of slightly longer range stuff, these are a very, very good cartridge and a little bit more affordable than the Zenith. A lot of people have mentioned, you know, I'm using Zenith to shoot pigeons. Well, it's because they're the best, that's the reason I use them. But I do understand, you know, sometimes you don't want to be spending that kind of money to shoot pigeons, so try the old faithful Grand Prix. It's the first cartridge I ever fired, I reckon. I think that's all that used to be available years ago in the farm supplies. So anyway, you'll see today, I'll hit a few, miss a few, no doubt, but they're a very, very good cartridge, and you don't see many people using them these days. Perfecto. I don't think I'm going to bother using the cartridge bag today. I'll just put that in the bottom of the hide. This is the old faithful Acorn saddlery. Still, in my opinion, the best that money can buy. This is an old one. I've got another one, but it's the leather so lovely and soft and supple. And a good tip for anybody, if you want to get them just that little bit more, if a bit easier to pull out, just get some corks, wine corks or something like that. Just cut them, they fit perfectly. You can see I've done them in all the spaces there. A loader showed me this on an estate last year or the year before. So it just comes out much easier, so it doesn't matter on a day like today, pigeon shooting, it's all calm and steady, but if you're on a drive or something like that, on a pheasant drive and they want to get them out quick, that just pushes them up a bit. So quite a good idea, I thought. Anyway, onwards and upwards. I've got dead pigeons in the back here for decoys. They've been in the freezer. I haven't shot pigeons for quite a while now. So I've got 10 or 11 dead pigeons. I'm going to put a whirly out. Got a couple of whirlies in here. This is a really, really old one. That's like a spare. I'll throw that there. Dog's water. This is meant to be quite warm today. You always need loads of water. These nets got saturated the last time I was out, so I've had them drying in the garage at home. That's why they're in a different bag. So I've got a few pidgeys here for decoys. Hide seat. And we're lucky today that we can drive where we want to start building. Sometimes you have to carry it and then you just have to reduce your kit. Otherwise you spend all day humping stuff to wherever you need to be. This is from the UK Shoot warehouse. I bought this back in the summer because all the other ones are donkeys years old, so this is going to have its second outing today. I always put camo tape. You can also go to Halfords and get matte paint as well, camo, grey, whatever, and just basically dulls it down. But this cloth camo tape doesn't shine, doesn't reflect, it makes a heck of a difference. I put it on the arms as well, so that makes a big difference. That there. Going to start today with one whirly. I've put extension arms on as well. Well, actually, I took that off to spray it there. So, like so. You get a nice wide, or at least you do if you don't cover it with tape. There we are. So that goes on there, like so. It's just quite, as you can see, that's quite wide. And I just tip these inwards like so. You'll see when I set the whirly up later. Always, always, always tilt the pigeons to the centre of the circle, not outwards, always inwards. I've had a couple of messages over the summer and earlier, and sorry I haven't got back to anybody before, but they've asked about these gun holders. These are quite simply, you can get them online. They're designed for quad bikes and things like that. They come in pairs and you can open them out. They're very strong. They've got grips in them. I've just bolted them onto this hide pole and the gun goes in them and it's totally secure. They will never ever come out of that. So you just go online and get them anywhere. But that's what they are. And apologies, a couple of guys sent me messages and I didn't get back to them soon enough, but this is what they are anyway, so you can all see. So we've got a southeasterly wind today. Quite unusual wind actually for this time of year. Anyway, that's what we've got. Which is sort of there, which is behind us. Birds are coming from that direction, and that direction. I think in a perfect world, I would have maybe preferred a very, very strong, something northerly. I probably would have gone down on that bottom side. So the shots then are coming away from where the lines are, whereas it is now, the shots are going to be carried down these two lines. They won't be carried down those two lines, so we'll see what happens. But these particular pigeons have been feeding on a huge pea field off the edge of this estate all summer. And I mean this, there were thousands on there all summer, quite literally thousands. We can't shoot it, it's surrounded by horses and things like that, so just impossible to shoot. Shot a few flight lines coming to and from it, but there've been so many pigeons up there, and these pigeons now have dispersed onto this area and some other areas in the locality. So we will see how they behave. One thing with a southerly, it's always a good thing if you've got a southerly wind from any southeast, southeast, southwest, doesn't matter, the sun's always behind you during the course of the day. It might start out one side or the other, but it'll go around, so predominantly it's behind you most of the day. So you're not as conspicuous as what you might be. And when you're shooting northerly, obviously you're shooting into the sun. I'm just putting a few extra nets up than what I would normally use, just because there's going to be two of us in the hide, and then there's just always potentially a little bit more movement. I'll leave that there. This is just low down, just so as any movement low down in the hide is completely blotted out. But you don't want to make it so dark that it just looks like a big black blob, because they'll pick up on that. So I'll put a lighter net over now. Said, just want to make sure that bit there, I'm going to be this side, Ollie's going to be here with the camera. The pigeons come round from there, just want to make sure they're not looking in too much on that side. This side shouldn't be so bad. Got a lot of protection here from this coppice behind us. Pidgeys, wind is behind us, so what I'm going to do is put the whirly down there as the attractor, put the pigeons here. Hopefully they'll see the whirly come in to have a look, spot the decoy statics which are feeding, and come into the statics. In a perfect world. You can see the beans look on the floor. This is what the pigeons are coming after, and have been until they've moved on to the right there. These beans have had moisture, they call that chitting, so that's basically now starting to regen, grow again. But this is what they're after, and you'll see, when you see pigeons on bean stubble like this, they don't take long to feed. Imagine how big those beans are. They're not in there for long. They'll come in, fill their crops, go away and rest. So if you see pigeons coming to a field and going to a field, you don't necessarily have to see lots and lots of pigeons on the field, because they don't spend that much time. They're in, full and gone. So if you see a nice constant flow, you should be in for an okay time of it. As you can see, there's a lot of beans on this field. Which obviously very dry summer. When they harvested it, they would have just fallen out. The simple as that. They wouldn't have all gone in the harvester. But it was noticeable. With I got a tip yesterday from the keeper saying there's a few pigeons about, blah blah blah. They'll be on that because of the rape going into it. Rape's their favourite food. They love it. So we'll see what happens. There's not as much wind as they said there was going to be actually. But anyway, it'll be what it'll be. There's loads in the trees just behind us. So from the right, that might come over the hedge. Maybe you didn't like the whirler. Okay, we've been here 40 odd minutes, we shot a couple, but there's something they really don't like, so I'm just going to nip out. I'm going to switch off the whirly and swap it. Oh my god, don't say that's going to come, and it is. That hasn't seen me, it's going to do might turn in. See that, even that, and that's a youngish pigeon. Tell where the colourings. Right, let's just nip out. I'll move these out of the shadow as well. push them out into the sun. I'll get the one we shot. I'm going to put the one we shot on the flapper because that's a very nice fresh bird, and just switch off the whirly. Dead bird flying. So I've just put a face mask on. These pigeons are really not liking it. We cannot get them to, we tried chopping and changing. I think the truth of the matter is somebody's probably had a go at them on a neighbouring estate recently, the way they're behaving. They're sort of coming in and then just veering off them. There's nothing here, we're not doing nothing. But I'm just gonna try with the face mask, see if that makes any difference. But there's a few pigeons moving around now. We've had a few shots the last few minutes, but very little is decoying. It's just leery, sliding away, slippy stuff. Got him. So we've been here just over 2 hours now. We've shot a dozen or so. I've missed a few. I've been shooting at some long, leery things that aren't really committing, just having a pop, but they're just not wanting it. We've chopped and changed around, but it's one of them. They may have fed you see early this morning. I think it's worth hanging on because we've seen an awful lot of pigeons come into this field, and they're coming from a long way. They're flying high, which is a good sign. And I think they're just in the woods around us, just sat up. Every time we have a shot, there's pigeons everywhere, but they're just not decoying. Everything we've shot so far has pretty much just been flying by, having a look. So we'll definitely hang on for a little bit and see, because if they switch on, we could get into quite a good number. Oh, that was a high one. That's it. Yeah, I think we'll call it. It's been a frustrating day. It's been great sport. Shot some lovely birds. Missed some I should never have missed. But just a tricky day. Really, really tricky. We've tried all sorts. And the amount of pigeons that come to this field today has been pretty serious. But yeah, anyway, one of them. It's been great fun. We've kept the pigeons off this field So we've done some good, we've done a lot of good, and we've thinned quite a few out as well. So all good, as they say. Righto, so we're all finished. We've had a good sporting day. We could have killed a few more. I could have hit a few more. We've seen a lot of pigeons. They haven't really decoyed, but that's the way it goes. Some days they do, some days they don't. We've seen, like I said, we've seen a lot, but had some wonderful fun doing, you know, a critical job in the countryside, keeping these pigeons off the crop, the newly drilled crop behind us. So yeah, been an enjoyable day. Great to have Ollie down. Just a good day, just a good day. Killed a nice few pigeons, had some memorable shots, had some misses that will haunt me as well, but that's just the way it goes. But yeah, all in all, thank you very much for watching. This has been The Shooting Show. I'm Gerwyn Jones, and see you on the next one.
Well, it's a lovely evening this evening, and I am popping out with the Daystate Delta Wolf and seeing if I can knock over a few rabbits. Now, the farm I'm heading for, there's not masses of rabbits down there, but there's a few on there, and the farmer spotted them, and he's asked if I would just knock over 2 or 3. So just to keep him happy, show goodwill him, I'm going to pop down tonight and see what I can do. Right, so the field that we're going to go and have a look in is literally just here, just the other side of the yard. So I'm going to wander over and have a look over the fence and just see if there's anything about. And we might be able to knock one over pretty early on, because they're quite often just, when you put your head over the gate, they're quite often just alongside the back of the silage clamp here. So hopefully we'll get 1 or 2 shots sort of straight off, and then I'll probably just walk out into the field a bit, find a place to sort of stand and wait, and hopefully we'll get a few sort of come out as the evening progresses on a bit. So there's half a dozen rabbits out at the back of the field there. They're a little bit too far from here. They're about probably 80 metres, something like that. So I'm going to just go through the gate as quietly as I can and just walk up the track a little bit and see if I can get a bit closer without spooking them. There's 2 more there. The first one was just over 40 metres, so probably about 45 to 50 yards, and then the second one, they were both pretty much side by side, about the same distance, but the second one, he went to go back in and he was just in the long reeds, just in the corner of the field there, and he just stopped and put his head up, and I managed to just get a shot at him. He was a little bit further. He was 50 something, I can't remember now, but you'll see it on the footage, about 50 metres I think, so probably about 55 yards. Yeah, about 55. Right, well, nothing else has come out in about the last 20 minutes or so. I'm going to pick these up and then I'm going to go and have a look around the next couple of fields to see if there's any dotted around out and about out there. So might be able to pick up another 2 or 3 or something. And you never know, we can check back on this field on the way back through and they might have come back out again. Right, let's go and have a look in the next field and see what we can find. Oh, down. The rest of these fields seem pretty dead, so I think I'll go back to that first field, see if they've come back out yet. Well, it seems pretty quiet around this field. Yep, nothing's come back out in there, so I think that's probably it for this evening. We've got a nice little bag of got a few, well, four rabbits. So again, not massive numbers, but a few for the freezer. So thanks for watching, and please subscribe.
If you aren't a member of Basque, it's time to join now. Basque, looking after your sport, looking after you.